Well, hello and welcome to this episode of the Terri Cole Show. As always, I am so psyched that you are hanging out with me today. I want to start this episode with a question. Do you struggle with asking for help? Really think about it. Do you find yourself saying, ugh, it's just easier if I do it myself? Yes, with all of you nodding your head. So you are not alone. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I learned how to do less and produce more. And part of that is learning how to ask for help. So if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. Please share and introduce yourself right in the comments because I'd love to read all the things. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so that when I have new episodes coming out, you don't miss a thing. And if you don't know me, my name is Terri Cole. I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I am the author of Boundary Boss, right there, that book that you can get at boundarybossbook.com and anywhere that fine books are sold. So I just want to say thank you so much for all your comments and all your participation. And each episode, I try to highlight a comment from a viewer like you. So today I'm highlighting a comment from LA. That's the name. And it's from the recent episode I did on emotional roller coaster of boundary setting. And LA says, a brand new episode always excites me. I learn more therapeutic tools from Terri than anyone. As a psychiatrist, I was trained more in medicine than psychotherapy. Terri is really the best on YouTube. XO. That is so nice. I so love it when other professionals, as well as lay people alike, appreciate what it is that we're putting out there, but that really, really warms my heart. So thank you, LA. I appreciate you. And before we get started, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the bell because I wouldn't want you to miss all of the new juicy stuff that I put out. Also, if you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. All right, moving into today's content. Why do we do so much? Why do we wear our busyness as kind of a badge of honor? At least I certainly used to in my younger days. It made me, I think, maybe feel important. I also was quite a control freak. So I was definitely the queen of not just it's easier for me to do it myself. I was also the queen of if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. And all of those experiences got me to a place of total exhaustion in my life. It also created a lot of resentment that I felt towards other people in my life, as if they were sort of making me do all the things that I was doing, which of course, in all reality, they were not making me. I was just doing all of those things. So I wonder if you identify with any of this. Are you exhausted? Do you feel like you are constantly doing? Are you a human doing instead of a human being? That really is my question. And a bunch of years ago, actually, one of my friends, and you might know her name is Kate Northrup. She is an author, but her most recent book, which came out, I think about 2 years ago, is called Do Less. And it's basically the art of doing less and being more productive, but also being exponentially happier than when we are busy. So you might identify with using busyness as a badge of honor, but let's talk about what you can do to change that. We're going to start with just eliminating the auto yes, because so much of the time we just feel compelled to say yes because someone else wants us to do something, even though our plate is already full and even though we don't have room to do it, or we're not going to be able to do it without becoming resentful, because that really is the end result of being busy all the time, never reassessing what we actually need to be doing, right? I wanted the name of this episode to be Simplify, Reassess, and Do Less, because my mindset, and really so much of this has had to do with Kate helping me along with this, is to work smarter, not harder, right? Work less, make more is another mantra, really affirmation that I've been using, because I used to associate all of this overworking with being successful. And one of the really important things that I was able to change in my own life was stopping the auto yes. Super duper important. So I think you need to look at, where do you say yes when you want to say no? And can you buy time in that situation? If you say, okay, let's make a commitment for the next 5 days, you're not going to instantly say yes to anything. You're going to allow yourself to mindfully decide, A, if you want to do that thing. Like, do you actually want to do that thing? Do you have the time, energy, and space in your life and in your schedule to do that thing? Because a lot of times when we are auto yesing or insta yesing to other people, who we're really saying no to is ourselves or the important people in our lives. So we really want to get our priorities straight when it comes to what we are saying yes to. Discernment is incredibly important, and giving yourself time and space. So instead of saying yes for the next 5 days, you're going to buy time and say, I think I'll have to get back to you on that because I need to check my calendar, or I'll need to sleep on that. I've implemented a 24-hour decision-making policy, because why not? Why can't you have a 24-hour decision-making policy? You absolutely can. I want to check with my spouse, my roommate, my sister, whomever, before committing, right? Because just checking your calendar, because now what we're doing is we are creating space. It's like a pattern interrupt in between someone asking you to do something. And this could be at work, this could be in your personal life, and your answer. And it is giving you the luxury of time and space. And listen, unless it involves kids, right? Unless it's a kid involved thing, minor children, really nothing requires an instant yes. It really doesn't. I think that we think it does. We put this pressure on ourselves, but it actually doesn't. So really getting proactive when it comes down to your schedule and what you commit to is super duper important. So that's going to be the first piece, is you're just going to stop with the auto yesing, because it doesn't do anything for you. We have to raise our awareness about what we're doing. So the next time you're sort of on autopilot in doing something, whatever the thing may be, you're going to stop and ask yourself, does this task need to be done? Right? Does it actually need to be done? Does it need to be done by me? And this is really where codependency can come in, where if you are doing the laundry of your adult child because you've always done it, so to speak, and they drop it off on Sunday and pick it up on Wednesday, does that really need to be done by you? No, it does not. Should it be done by you? Right? And I always say that with codependency, when we are doing things that others can and should be doing for themselves, that's when we really need to reassess. And that's what you're doing in this raising awareness phase. And then the next one is, does it need to be done now? That is also really important, because a lot of times what I'm finding is that batching work makes me so much more productive than sort of doing it willy-nilly, right? Batching work, having days that I film, days when I record my podcast, days when I do interviews with other people, days when I don't work, right? Building in that space of actually not doing anything on that Friday because I'm going to lunch with my sister and my mother, or whatever the plan is. But I think that batching is something that my life really changed a lot when I started batching my work. So we're going to move, the last thing we're going to move into with this is, what are the energy drains, or the energy sucks, as I call them, in your life? Because to work smarter and not harder, we need to know what is making us exhausted. So we know saying yes when you want to say no, or saying yes to things you don't actually legitimately have the bandwidth to do, that is absolutely an energy suck. Being in dysfunctional relationships is an energy suck, right? Being in the hero role, being the person that everybody comes to and you feel like you can't say no because everybody comes to you. That is certainly an energy suck for you. Being around people who are constantly, chronically complaining is an energy suck. Falling into a Netflix hole is an energy suck. It's not that you can't watch Netflix or whatever it is you like to stream, but falling into a hole. Because what I find is when I'm not protecting my energy, my bandwidth, it's like I can more easily fall into anything that is going to let me not feel and let me rest. And that might be a Netflix hole, but the more we plan, the less that will be a problem in your life. Really, chronic screen time is an amazing energy drain. Just always being on your phone, always scrolling Instagram, Facebook, and listen, I know I'm certainly not the first person that you've heard this from, obviously, but really think about it. How much of your day are you spent allowing your energy to be leaked away from you, doing mindless things like scrolling on Instagram, or doing even more damaging things like comparing and despairing on Instagram, right? If you are comparing your everyday to someone else's highlight reel, as they say, that is not just an energy drain or an energy suck. That's also a mood, not enhancer. What's the opposite? It's a downer. It's a bummer, right? It makes us feel bad about ourselves. So part of this identifying energy drains or energy sucks is realizing that keeping your eyes on your own paper is also a really good idea. Not that we can't learn from other people, we can, but if you're online comparing and despairing, you're not learning. What you're learning is that it makes you feel insecure. That's what you're learning. And it's also time sucked away from your day. So I'm curious to see what your experience is of this. How do you have this experience of being busy, busy, busy? What do you do about it? Would you like to learn more skills, more tools, more strategies? Because I am so excited to invite you to this free webinar, masterclass, I guess we're calling it, with the queen of doing less and being more productive, Kate Northrup herself, called The Productivity Myth. It's basically, we're going to be teaching you 3 unconventional techniques to reach your goals without burning out. And I know that burnout is such a huge, right now, it's an epidemic of people feeling burnt out. So I'm so psyched that I can offer this to you. I'm actually in Kate's community, which is called Origin, because I find that every single week I'm learning something else, because I will always be a high functioning codependent, even though I'm in recovery. I will always be an overgiver, even though I'm way better, right? It's good, better, best. And because we're human beings, it isn't like we get quote unquote cured from these experiences, so to speak. It's more that I learn more tools and techniques from people who are more masterful at that than me, like Kate. And it makes the quality of my life so much better. And I really, really want that for you. So all the information, all you need to do to sign up for this free training series, this free training episode is terricole.com/Kate, Kate. Super duper easy. I hope that you guys decide to join us. I am super excited. She and I have been friends for many years, and I've learned so much from her over the more than decade. I think we've been friends for about 15 years, maybe 18. Anyway, so I hope that you will join us. In the meantime, I want to hear what you have to say about this episode. I hope that it added value to your life. And as always, take care of you.